Hello and welcome back to Shokuho, and we are actually in a bit of a troublesome spot, yes, because obviously we, in the last episode, made our way over to Mori territory, and, well, my main goal was try, kind of try, at least, to increase their exhaustion level, because if we can increase their exhaustion level, we can force them into a... well, shall we say, compensatory mood. Yes, that's kind of the, shall we say, less harsh way of saying it. In other words, we're going to extort them. That's what we're going to do. We're going to extort them as much as possible. But yes, we are also having, yes, as you can see there, Muranaka has just been taken because for some reason... JINZABURO is doing, well, nothing. Little bit surprising. I am actually going to say offensive now. We are going to put him on offense here. Yeah, the thing is, look. We can actually make peace with them right now if we wanted to. And that's going to create a nice little peace, which would be good. However... I can't do that from a pride standpoint. I'm not a very prideful person, am I? I don't know. Am I? I don't know. That would require a little bit more self-reflection than I know what to do with right now. But the fact is, I think we're not going to allow them to get away with this. So JINZABURO is going to have to actually do something. Let's hope, cross our fingers, that he is actually going to be somewhat useful, because he seems to be completely and utterly useless at the moment. I'm not entirely sure why that is, because we have seen him. We have seen him be extremely good and very, very efficient, but he has proven himself in recent memory to be a bit lazy. I'm not entirely sure why that is. He's being a little bit too passive for my liking, and indeed they have taken Muranaka now, so this is obviously bad. Now, if I can take Kushizaki from them, we may in fact be okay. We might have an opportunity to force the opponent into coming back into their own territory, because let's face it, this extreme distance that they're going to have to travel from all the way over at Muranaka all the way back here, that is going to inherently come with its own own little bits of troublesome things that they have to deal with, like cohesion, food supplies, being far away. If their army disbands really, really far, then all the vassals are going to scatter, and it's going to be a very, very difficult situation for them. As you can see, however, we are now having a problem at the castle that we just took as well. Well, this is an issue, isn't it? Alright. 3 days worth of food remaining. Yeah, okay. I'm kind of... Is he not? Is he still not? No, he's still not doing anything. This is very strange, I have to admit. I actually feel like this is extremely strange. Usually I would be 100% relying on our first made vassal. It always feels to me like our first made vassal is always absolutely insane. Oh, he's actually running away from someone right now. Okay, that's a bit problematic. Yeah, he is probably going to be... facing someone that is extremely strong, and I'm talking about he's probably looking down the barrel of a gun of, you know, someone that literally has like 1,000 people or something like that. I'm going to assume that's the case at least. But yeah, there's not much I can do about that, unfortunately, and we're just going to have to wait and see about the food supply situation here. As you can tell, it is now starting to impact the garrison. Yes, it is. It is now starting to do that, and indeed JINZABURO is actually making his way over to Aya Castle. I believe we own Aya Castle, but maybe that's changed. Obviously, the most annoying thing, and now this is a funny thing, I don't know whether this is easy to change or whatever, but basically the most annoying thing about Bannerlord is that when you're in a siege, you can't move the camera. you can just zoom out a little bit and that's it. And you can't move the camera anymore, because what I would love to do is actually scroll over and actually see what's going on there. But we're just going to have to try to, I don't know, interpret smoke signals or something like that, because I can't see apart from being able to mouse over what JINZABURO is doing. And as you can see, he is actually traveling to Muranaka right now. He is actually going to do something. So I'm very excited about that. And indeed, we are going to be making our way in over here as well. And let me just take a quick look. We did level up our charm skill, which, no offense, is basically useless. It is not really going to be that useful for us whatsoever. The one thing that we are going to do, though, is we are going to try and marry someone, if we can. And I'm going to be looking for someone within the Otomo faction. Just purely because they're not at war with us. And that's it. That's the only reason. Otherwise, I was going to try and find someone from the Shimazu, because I thought that would have been actually a little bit cool to do, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, obviously because they're at war against us, it's going to be kind of difficult. Anyway, let's see if I can actually make a good shot or not. Can I reload really, really fast? No. Okay, it's kind of weird actually. I don't know when the reload, I don't know why the reload sometimes changes, you know, from 10 seconds to 3 seconds. I'm going to assume it has something to do with me riding around. Maybe it's a field battle thing or something like that. I don't know, but there's a nice hit. And we're going to be very careful here. I do not want to die. This is one of those times, you know, it's one of those times where I really do have to be very careful. I do not have time, or shall we say, I do not have the ability to sustain any amount of damage at this point. Okay, here we go. Am I being shot? A little bit. Shouldn't have to worry too much. Okay, kill that. Kill this. Nice. And now we're just going to run down here. And all we're going to do is just going to slash them as best as I can. And try to get as much support for our forces as I can get my hands on. As in proverbial support, of course. Because you can't... Oh, wait a minute. He's trying to shoot me? No, he's not gonna get that done. Thank you very much. That was wonderful. I'm trying to be as efficient as possible with my slashes as well. I don't know whether you've noticed that over the past couple of sieges, but basically what I've been trying to do is making it so that every single slash results in at least one kill. But, of course, on top of that, I would like to be able to kill multiple opponents in one hit. Like that. Did you see that? That was one very efficient slash. And that's what I'm trying to do. Just because that fundamentally increases our efficiency by such a massive margin. Because, just imagine, you know, you're attacking one enemy. But if you can kill 2 enemies with just that one slash, that is a 100% increase in the amount of kills you're getting. And if you can do 3, well, that's even more. And well, you know, obviously, you know, let's face it, you know, maths are not my strong point. Okay, so I am not going to be talking about that any further. But I am going to say that killing 2 is better than 1. Yes, that is a fundamental concept. But yeah, we are going to definitely try and do that. And I will obviously try to inflict as much terror as I can with my wonderful perk. That really does make a big, big difference. Okay, I'm ready. Nice. Nice. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, too fun. It is too fun. It is too fun. Come on now. Oh, yeah. We are just absolutely massacring. And the funny thing is, I'm not hiding, you know? I'm not hiding. I am leading the charge, basically. That's also something that I really appreciate about this mod. It allows you to lead from the front instead of having to cower at the back of the battlefield because you're so afraid that you're going to get eliminated. And I love that because that just puts you front and center. You know, it really makes you extremely excited to go into the battle and have these kinds of experiences, because you're not going to get this kind of experience if you're standing at the back, obviously. And I just think that that is kind of sad, actually. Kind of sad when we don't have the ability to do that. I mean, look at how much I'm able to do here. Obviously, I've got to be a little bit careful because I am now starting to take some damage from enemies around me. Do have to be a bit careful of that. But we should be okay. I'm going to try to be careful here. I do want to try to make sure that I live just until we get to this gate over here. Oh no, I'm getting shot. Oh no, I'm getting shot. This is bad. Oh, that's really bad. Okay, yeah, I was really hoping I'd be able to survive at least until this gate was destroyed, because this is where we always have issues. This is where our casualties skyrocket dramatically, just because my forces have such a hard time dealing with this. Because look at the formation of the enemy's forces here. They have archers on the left side and on the right side that they can shoot through, and they also have archers on the top. It is such an efficient design, extremely impressive. And they have them on the other side as well, exactly like that, except they're only shooting from the one side, of course. So it is extremely, extremely good. Now, once again, we do have one enemy remaining, which unfortunately means I will have to retreat. Very, very sad. We'll have to retreat and do the auto-resolve because my forces are not able to reach them for some reason. I don't know why that is, but that's okay because we have achieved victory here. And this is indeed a town, so I will be capturing basically every single prisoner here. And we're going to be, I think, probably taking all of the loot. Yes, I am going to be taking all of the loot, just purely because we are starting to run a little bit low on cash. I'd like to get as much cash as possible here. Now, as you can see, my exhaustion is much higher than I want at this point. I have 88. It's not good. Okay, it is really not very good. I'm taking ownership over this, by the way, just so that I can give this to a vassal, a new vassal, that is, that we are going to create, hopefully. Now, let me just take a quick look here. We're just going to tell our, well, tell the prisoners that we have here that they are going to be let go for the most part. Okay, let's see. Do this. Most of the Ashigaru can go, of course. I have to be a little bit careful here because I don't want to get rid of the higher, well, should I say, the samurai units as much as possible. We don't really want to get rid of those, but we do want the Ashigaru to leave us for the moment. Let me see. No, we should be absolutely fine here. Okay, yeah, then we're just going to get rid of a couple of these. There we are. Wonderful. Okay, look at that. 5,000. We gained 6 skill points, actually. 6 skill points. That's pretty decent, actually, considering. I mean, I have basically no points in that. You know, just bear that in mind. I have no points in that whatsoever, so it is quite good. And we can obviously recruit a couple of people. Let's get those guys from the tavern as well. And let me just see here. Okay, do we actually have a companion that can leave? Yeah, this guy. This guy can actually do it. This guy can actually do it. Okay, for a real quick second, what I need to do though... Oh no, he does have a... Yeah, no, he does have a helmet. He does have a helmet. I didn't think he had one because it didn't seem like he had one on this screen right here, but apparently he does. Okay, so let's speak to him, and we're going to be giving him this. There we go. We're going to give him Kushizaki. And there we have it. Yes, I'm going to be giving it to him. And he is going to be called... I think this seems like a pretty good name. There we go. That's what we're going to do. Fantastic. So he is now the leader of his own clan. I'm very much hoping that they're going to do a really, really good job here. And I can only hope that... we're going to lose Sadawara, aren't we? Yeah. Okay, technically I can pay 1,300. Propose directly, paying 44,000 and 13 tribute per day. No. I don't have enough influence to be able to even propose peace at this point. I could go over to this vassal here and probably attack him. I am disorganized at the moment, so I won't have speed. Thankfully that patrol was... Oh, actually, that's not a patrol. That's my companion that was newly made into a vassal. That's hilarious. Okay, so we do have this guy now, which is fantastic. Basically pretty much any time we're able to capture anyone of note, it is going to help us a massive amount. Let's just take a quick look and actually see how much exhaustion that has caused. That caused 3 exhaustion as far as I can see. Is that true? Did I forget that that was actually the way it was, or no? Did I forget that? I'm actually not entirely sure. Okay, well, let's try it again, shall we? Let's try something else. So we're just gonna give this, obviously not that much, right? You know, no, we're not giving a huge amount of troops or anything like that. Okay, let me actually just zoom out for a real quick second, because obviously we were in a siege, so we don't have the ability to take a look at the world map and the greater view on display. Okay, so JINZABURO is, for some reason, no, why are you traveling here, you imbecile? I need you to go over there to Moronaka and actually take that. Oh dear. Okay, so Sadawara is being taken, and it is being taken by the Shimazu. What do you bet? What do you bet that they're actually taking it? Pretty much 100%. Alright. Alright, hello. Okay, what are you doing here? Yeah, you know what's really funny? I think I could probably fight these guys if I had a full army. Or should we say, if my army was full HP, I think I could maybe fight them. Are they actually just... they're going for the siege defense. Okay. Well, this is very interesting. I'm a little bit skeptical about whether we can win. No, I think we can win this. I think we can win this. We have way too many ranged troops, right? We have way too many ranged troops for them to actually win this, right? Right. now I'm a bit skeptical. All right. Well, whatever the case, let's have a look. What else should I spec into? Should probably spec into leadership a little bit more, shouldn't I? That's probably going to be the play here. I could go for riding skill, of course. Going for mounted patrols is pretty good, but as you can see, we're already... I mean, we are technically having a learning rate of +8, which is amazing in comparison to our learning rate in leadership of +2. So obviously that's not very good. So we're just going to put the last focus point in leadership there. And then we're going to see what happens. I'm a little bit worried about this because my settlement is going to run out of food. But the question is, does that actually matter? JINZABURO is here. Oh, he's right here. Why doesn't he go in? He could easily win this by himself. I'm pretty sure he could easily win this by himself without me even being here. Okay, well, you know what we're going to do, right? You know what we're going to do. I'm going to ambush them as soon as I have the opportunity to do so. I will need to do that. It's going to be extremely important that we make a move as soon as possible. As you can see, JINZABURO is doing a fantastic job, basically attacking anything that comes into range. And there's the ambush. Okay, now we can literally go and ambush them straight away. We could technically sally out, but I wanted JINZABURO to actually be kind of close. But unfortunately, he's not. So we're going to have to do the ambush here and try to eliminate as many enemies as we can. I do have quite a few horses, which is pretty cool, you know, it's pretty nice, you know, not too bad, not too bad. And this is going to be a little bit... I have never done this before in this mod, so this is going to be kind of interesting. I mean, we have a load of... Wow, okay, yeah. We have a load of distance to cover until we can get all the way around there. I gotta say, it is so picturesque, though. Seeing the game from this angle, very, very cool. Alright, I'm just gonna jump this. There we go. Oh, yes, it actually worked. Can you believe it? Alright, okay, so let's move around, and I'm gonna get shot in the face, aren't I? I have a bad feeling about this. I have a bad feeling that I'm gonna immediately, as soon as I go and charge them, I'm just gonna die instantaneous. Okay, there we go. I wanted to take him down. That's a lord. And I'm gonna try and shoot another one if I can. Okay, I am being shot. That's okay, though. Okay, there we go. Nice. How are my forces? Where are they? They are not close at all. Of course not. Wow, that guy survived. Did you see that? That guy literally survived. I hit him for 114. He's still there. Okay. Enemy reinforcements have arrived. Okay, I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work. My forces are not making their way here for some reason. Yeah, as you can see, they are not making their way here. So I'm going to have to tell... should I tell them to charge? Or no, I can't command them. As you can see, look at this. I'm pressing 0 right now. I'm pressing 0, which is obviously, you know, command all. There we go. There's another vassal. Eliminated. Okay, this is... Okay, I'm going to have to go for it. Nice. Oh, not so nice. Ow. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is unfortunate, I have to say. This is unfortunate because I was kind of hoping that we would have some help from my troops, but as you can see, I'm unable to command them. So that is not great. Oh, hello. More enemies. Oh, I mean, look at these guys. There's so many of them. We would easily be able to murder so many opponents here. It would actually be fantastic. The enemy is organizing. What? Retreat? Are you serious? Why would I retreat right now? I mean, I don't really want to retreat. But the thing is, and this is obviously funny, I don't really... I think that if I get eliminated here, I have a bad feeling that the enemy is going to charge almost instantaneous. Oh, they ran? I was checking the scoreboard and that okay, apparently that was it. All right, well that's interesting. Okay, well JINZABURO is now back. I could technically sally out here, but I'm not sure if JINZABURO would join us. See, that's the problem, you see. But we need to... Okay, you know what? I'm only at 46% HP. Oh, that's really annoying. Okay, we're going to have to go. Okay, we're going to have to go. Equipped guns do not slow you down. That's actually fantastic. Probably going to be taking that in a second. Plus 50% resistance to getting staggered while reloading your gun. I don't really care about that much. So I'm going to be taking run and gun here. And we are going to be sallying out. Is JINZABURO... Yes! He's actually joining us! Okay, this is perfect. I was really worried that he wouldn't be joining us here, but no, he is. He is, in fact, joining. This is great. Absolutely perfect situation here. Okay, that means... Oh yeah, that means they are going to rue the day they messed with us. And hopefully their exhaustion is going to cap out as a result of this. We can only hope that to be the case at least. Okay, I'm basically just going to be going for a complete and utter 100% auto-delegate here. As I don't have my army. It's mostly JINZABURO's army as far as I can tell. Yep, as you can see, he has 154 people, so I'm just going to let him do what he does. And that's pretty much it. You know, it's actually quite funny. I personally believe that he would be fine doing this himself. I think he would be able to win this by himself. Oh no. Okay, well that was bad. I was like, oh yes, I'll get out my gun and shoot some of these guys, and then they were like, no, we're not going to allow you to do that, of course. I gotta say, I do not like these battlefields. These battlefields with all the little trees and stuff like that. Oh, it's very annoying. That's the only thing. That is the only thing that I find a little bit irritating about these battlefields. Just these small little trees that have the ability to block you. Very harsh to deal with if you run into them all the time like I do. Okay, that was a great hit. Wow, look at that. That did so much damage. Not. You know what? I should probably get off my mount. Oh, he's dead. Yes. Okay, don't get killed now. Okay, well, we are actually winning this rather dramatically here. I'm kind of worried that my exhaustion is going to cap out before theirs, though. That's the issue. Is that an enemy lord right there? I think it might be. I'm not sure. I'm gonna actually reload. I'm gonna be a bit sneaky. Gonna be a little bit sneaky here, because if this guy... Where is he? Is that him over there? Oh, there's one. Oh! Oh, wow. Okay, I was really hoping to be super sneaky there, but yeah, as you can quite clearly tell, they had my number dialed in very nicely. But as you see, we are indeed able to achieve victory still, despite having a small numbers disadvantage. And that is, in my opinion, because of JINZABURO's army. As you can see, he is actually destroying. He has a... What? He has so many Ashigaru, but he is doing... Look at the amount of kills these guys are getting. Oh, it's because he just has only these, basically. He just has a huge amount of these guys. That's actually insane that they're able to do so much damage. I never would have expected Ashigaru units to be able to do so much, but they are. Clearly, it just depends on what type of tool you're going to use, you know what I mean? So if you have a polearm like a Yari, for example, and you're up against a bunch of cavalry, it's of course going to be very good. Anyway, there we go. We did manage to achieve victory. I'm getting a very small amount of renown and so on, because obviously, you know, we're not going to be getting a huge amount for it, which is okay. I don't mind that. All I care about is achieving victory here, and JINZABURO did an absolutely amazing job. Alright. Yeah, I'm not even gonna... I don't think I'm even gonna bother taking these people, to be honest. I don't really see the point in it, you know? Don't really see the point in it, so we are just gonna leave them alone for the moment. I will take all the loot, though. Whichever loot I am entitled to, I'm gonna take it all, thank you. And now we can return back to Kushizaki. Let's have a look. Yes! Look! There we go. We got them into an exhaustion state right there. I am just going to save because I'm worried about crashes. I realized like halfway through that battle that I should have saved before I went in. Because me being able to take the town, first of all, that was extremely lucky. Considering I was able to stay alive for quite some time. And then I was also lucky that JINZABURO came along for the sally out. Because if I didn't have him, I think we'd probably be in some pretty bad situations. And as you can see, they are willing to pay us 500,000 basically. And I am going to say yes to this. Not because I really badly, desperately desire the cash, because I don't really care about the cash. I would have liked to have actually maintained Muranaka as much as possible. But unfortunately, this is... yeah, this is kind of what JINZABURO did for us. I mean, obviously, he did help us out, but I would have very much appreciated it if he had taken Muranaka first before coming back over here. That would have been great. That would have been basically perfect for everyone involved. But yeah, unfortunately, that was not the case. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be equipping a new horse because we have needed a new one for quite some time. And we're just going to equip one of these. And we can indeed sell these as well. As you can see, they sell for an insane amount of cash. But I don't think I really need to worry about that. I'm just going to sell all of this. Going to sell most of this as well. And we are going to be getting a pretty significant amount of cash from it. Obviously, as I said, I am actually going to be selling a load of stuff a little bit more instead of, you know, donating it or refining it or doing anything like that. In terms of smithing and stuff, but just because I want to make sure that we have quite a lot of cash. I don't need a massive amount, you know, I don't need like, you know, 2 million or something like that, but I'd like to have at least 1 million just in case things start to go badly. You know what I mean? Anyway, we can now set sail. We can now set sail because we have boats. Yes, because we have boats. As you can see right here, we have troop capacity of 420, which is actually pretty cool. So now we can set sail. And I'm actually unsure how this is going to work. How does this work? I could go over to Sadawara. Can I actually go over there? Oh, no. It just allows me to... Oh, I see. It just allows me to go across water without having to spend any money, which is quite nice. I did spend 120,000 or 140,000 on it or something like that, so it is quite expensive anyway, but you know, it's nice nevertheless. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do is, as I said to you before, we're going to be looking in... okay, wait a minute. Apparently that's not going to work. I need to look for... How do I actually see Otomo? Because apparently... culture is Saikai. Oh, I see, I see. Alright, so yeah, let's have a look here then. So, there we go. We have some people here. Matsuyama Castle, Niyoshima... Okay, Matsuyama Castle and Niyoshima. Where's that? Where do we... there's Matsuyama Castle down there. And Niyoshima is very far away. Okay, I'm not going to be going over there. We're going to go over to the castle here and see what she's all about. I'd like to see her stats, first of all. I'm not sure whether it really matters in the grand scheme of things, because basically taking a spouse at this point is pretty much... just a security measure, you know. It's just to try to make sure that, you know, if we do end up dying again, that we have a little bit of a backup plan, shall we say. Okay, so let's actually just take a quick look. Yeah, as you can see, she just has riding and steward skill. That is it. But she has some great traits, as you can see, so I guess that's kind of nice. And I'm just going to say, yeah, I wish to profess... Okay, perhaps you and I... Yes. Okay, so let me actually just wait a quick second here, because she is part of this clan, and this fellow is the leader of the clan. So what we're going to do is we're going to send a messenger to him, and this is the really, really cool thing about Shokuho as well. It does have the messenger submod, which is extremely, extremely useful, because now you can just send a messenger to them without having to find them on the world map. And for me personally, that is a, well, that is such an incredibly useful tool. It allows us to very quickly get answers, and then we can see whether things are going to work out or whether they're not, and we can actually have a great time. Now, it is going to take 3 days, which is not exactly great. Oh no, there we go. That was wow, that was a lot faster than I thought. Okay. Hello there. Okay, there is something I would like to discuss. Yes, I would like to propose an alliance between our families through marriage. My own hand. Otomo Yuri? Okay, I did not actually meet with her, but she has good riding and steward skill as well. Did I meet with her? Yeah, no, she's the other one. Oh, okay, she's the other one that we could have had. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to say yes, very good. Okay, so the question is, how much does this guy actually have? He has 1 million. Wow, okay. Let's see how much. 40,000. He literally just needs me to pay 40. Yeah, sure. All right. I'm actually very surprised about this. I thought that we were going to have an exuberant amount. I thought it was going to be extremely, extremely luxurious. But no. Apparently not. There we go. Very cool, I gotta say. Very cool, though. Yes, there we go. All right, that is amazing. And the barter offer was indeed accepted. And this is exactly what I was talking about before, where we don't have to go through the persuasion minigame. We can literally just go to the leader of the clan. We can go, ah, yes, I propose this and that and this and that. And then they accept or don't accept, and then things happen. And that's exactly what has occurred here, which is extremely nice. So we're going to take a look at our clan tier here as well, because as you can see, wow, it takes a long time for me to get to clan tier 5, that's for sure. Okay, so we're going to recall the member to our party here. She's going to be coming back to us. We are going to need to, you know, create some heirs, shall we say. And I'm otherwise going to be making my way over to Sadawara. Okay, so we have a bit of a problem on our hands here. Sadawara is being besieged by literally about 1,600 troops, which is going to be extremely difficult for us and probably almost impossible. So we are going to be making our way over to Hitoyoshi instead, because that was actually taken by the Shimazu, and we are obviously going to try and take it back. And if we can take it back in a timely manner, Wow, they literally... Wow, okay. They put a lot of people in the garrison here. 55 days... 55 days worth of food. Yes, 55 days worth of food. That is absolute bonkers. That is incredible amounts of food. All right. Well, I am going to try it because this is indeed... I mean, technically... Okay, fine, fine. We don't have to go in here if we don't want to. We could go somewhere else, right? We could go somewhere else. We could choose to do something different, but... is this another matter of principle? Maybe it is. Oh, look, there we go. We already... Oh, wow. It seems like Bruce got to work very, very fast there. So, already our spouse is now pregnant. Very nice indeed. And I'm actually wondering whether I should get a mod that makes it faster for the children to grow up. Not sure whether that's a good idea or not, because it does take a literal eon for them to age up in an appropriate manner. So I'm not entirely sure. Let me know what you think about that. Anyway, we're going to go in just a moment. And we're literally going to go in. We're just going to go in and we're going to see if we can maybe achieve victory despite having such a significant amount of enemies here. Now, I could technically have called someone, right? I could have called someone to, you know, come over here and join my army. But, you know, that's actually one of the funny things when I'm playing Bannerlord. I generally... Or should we say any strategy game, to be honest. Any strategy game, you know, where you have to do some kind of world conquest stuff and you're dealing with allied AI. Usually I like to see what the AI decides to do themselves because I find that more interesting, you know. Basically them making their own decisions and seeing what they decide to go with. I think that's always much more interesting than, you know, directing them 100% of the time. Ah, I knew that was going to hit as well. Yeah, the AI is very, very good at hitting you in the face. Ouch. Yes, as you can see right there. Wow, okay. That is really bad. I'm going to die super, super early on here, which may, in fact, now mean that I need to go somewhere else. Because if I die in Hitoyoshi here, I doubt my forces will be able to sustain themselves against such an overwhelming force. Without our assistance. It's going to be very difficult. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to try to be as supporting as possible here. Okay, they've got some really good setups right here as well. As you can see, all the archers up there, making it extremely damaging for us. Okay, yeah, they're shooting me over there. I'm gonna just make my way behind here for the moment, and they already know I'm coming this way. Ow. Okay. Yeah, no, we're gonna die. We're gonna die very, very soon. I need to spec out of Doctor's Oath, I think. Oh, got shot in the back. Yeah, we got shot in the back right there. Okay. Now let's actually just take a quick look. How did we do here? Because from my perspective, we killed 73. However, here's the thing. Because of Doctor's Oath, we are having issues. Look at what we're doing right here. we have a load of knocked unconscious enemies. And this is fundamentally making things so much more difficult than it would otherwise have to be, because we are obviously dedicating a significant amount of our medicine skill to the opponent. So generally, obviously, as I've said to you many, many times before, Doctor's Oath is amazing. It is literally one of the most amazing perks in the medicine skill tree for leveling up, right? For leveling up. However, when you start to get to the point where I'm at right now, where wars of attrition against enemy fiefs and strongholds and things like that, it really makes a massive difference not to have Doctor's Oath, because you're then going to be able to fundamentally decrease the amount of troops in the garrison without having so much expenditure yourself. So for example, as you saw right there, I did end up taking 6 casualties, which is great. That's a very small amount in comparison, but we still ended up having to retreat. And this might very well end up the same way, because as you can see, look at what is going to happen. The enemy's forces are going to restore themselves dramatically, about as fast as we are able to as well. You can see here, there's only 36. You know what? I'm actually going to abandon the siege. I'm going to abandon the siege very specifically here, so that I can go to Kumamoto and we can respec. Alright, so I've just paid 7,000 in cash to respec my medicine perks, and what we're going to do is we're going to take sledges instead, because obviously sledges is the alternative to Doctor's Oath, and we will be taking preventive medicine, of course, as well. I personally think that sometimes if you really 100% want to focus on combat movement speed, then self-medication is also fantastic, but the ability to recover lost hit points after every single battle, it is too good. It is too good to say no to that right now. So we're going to take triage tent as well. We're going to be going for sledges. As you can see, it does provide a little bit of extra HP to your mounts, as well as reducing your party speed penalty from wounded troops, which is actually pretty nice. And we will be going for best medicine here, because 15% healing rate while our morale is above 70, which is pretty much what it always is. And then we are going to... Siege Medic is not that necessary, so I'll go for Veterinarian, and then we will take Pristine Streets, and then we will go for Perfect Health like I did beforehand. And there we have it. Okay, so now we don't have Doctor's Oath, so we're going to go back to Hitoyoshi in just a second, and we're going to see the stark difference that it makes. Alright, so I'm actually going into a field battle here. This is obviously not something that I planned to do. I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm just going to go back to Hitoyoshi, but then I saw these guys here and I was like, okay, you know what? I cannot let this opportunity pass me by. I have to literally go in here and see what we can do. It is a little bit dark, so I will be making it a little bit lighter in editing, just so you can actually see a little bit more about what's going on, and we are otherwise... just going to be, well, I'm actually going to have to use strategy here and a little bit of tactics, because I am the only person on the field. I cannot rely on JINZABURO to, you know, get us the victory, as it were, like we did last time. You can actually put these guys here, I guess. And, yeah, there we go. All right, so that's what we'll do. And now let's just hope that my gun is actually usable to a degree. That might be quite fun if it fires a bit faster. Nope, it's definitely not going to fire faster, that's for sure, but I can do some damage with it. Oh, no, maybe not. I almost hit him. I did almost hit him. That would have been a pretty nice kill. We did eliminate one of their horses, I think. Nice. There we go. That's the leader of the enemy army, by the way. Okay, my forces are doing a pretty decent job right now. All I wanted to do is just kind of distract the enemy's cavalry to a degree. I have to be super, super careful about these polearm users as well, because otherwise they are just going to absolutely destroy me. I'm having a hard time actually seeing the opponent, by the way, as well. So, me just charging in here, I'm not entirely sure most of the time what I'm even charging. I could be charging literal polearm people, but no, it seems like we're doing okay. Nice, nice. No, don't, no, don't. Yeah. No, I think I almost died there. I think that was basically a death, if ever I saw one. We seem to be... Are they doing that same thing that these guys tend to do? Where they basically just kind of run towards us, then run away, run towards us, then run away? Is that what they're actually doing right now? Because it feels like that. Not entirely sure. But whatever the case, we should be okay as long as I just continue slashing away. You could see how many more kills we're actually getting in comparison to knocking people unconscious. Just bear in mind, however, thanks to the fact that we don't have Doctor's Oath anymore, we will not gain as many prisoners as we were getting before. Which means that I won't be able to convert as many people, which means I won't be able to recuperate my forces as quickly as I did beforehand, so I will need to now recruit more as we go. You know what I mean? So I'll need to recruit more people from towns and villages and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's basically how that's going to go. Anyway, we're going to move our archers a little bit ahead here. Obviously, this is a pretty large battle. There's a lot of people on the field, so we do need to continue moving people up here. Nope, not going to charge that guy, that's for sure. Oh, wow. Okay, I just took 207 damage. I mean, that is to be expected after all. Funnily enough, thanks to our... well, I'm not even entirely sure what it is thanks to be honest. It's probably not my commanding skill, is it? It's probably not me commanding them relatively well. It's probably just my forces doing an absolutely insane job of killing enemies before they even get to us. As you can see, we do have 102 kills attributed to our wonderful samurai marksman. We do have a couple of people getting some kills, Pistol Cavalry, Ozotsu Samurai, and then the rest are the Yumi. And they are obviously doing a very, very good job too. And that is, I believe, a victory for us. I don't see us losing this now, but we could. We could lose quite a few people just in general, because the enemy is obviously going to be, you know, getting quite a lot of reinforcements in here, or not. No, not that many. All right, so there we go. We actually got 54 renown for that, 101 influence, and indeed, we now gain the opportunity to increase their exhaustion so much more dramatically, which is going to be extremely nice for us. That means that we can force them into a wonderful peace agreement if we can. Now, I am going to be taking every single one of these guys prisoner, as you do, you know, as you do. Wow. Huge amounts. Okay, really, really nice. And we still get a significant amount of people to take prisoner here. So, yeah, actually, never mind. I said, oh, yes, we're going to get less prisoners to convert. But no, we are actually getting quite a few still. So, I'm not sure what I'm talking about there. Because clearly, you know, the prisoners are still very plentiful, which is quite surprising. Anyway, okay, let's just level these guys up, get those. I'm not entirely sure what to level these guys up into. I guess we'll just continue to level them up into gunners and bowmen and so on. And that seems to be about right. Okay, so let's get some more of these. Get some more of those, and another one of those, and then we should be pretty good. Fantastic. Okay, so now... whoa, 43,000 experience. The question is, do I want to donate all of the experience or do I not? Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I'm going to take all the other stuff, you know, all the miscellaneous stuff, like the range things and the horses and the saddles and all that stuff. And I will take all the food as well, because I actually do need some food. And I will take the most expensive gear, and then I will donate the rest. There we go. Because obviously we have to think about the fact that our army does actually need to be kind of strong, you know? They do need to level up. They need to gain all these little upgrades and things like that, and it's really going to make a big difference. As you can see, we are getting a load of really good troops right here. And we're just going to continue doing this, that, and there's that. There we are. All right, that's fantastic. Great. Okay, that was amazing. JINZABURO, by the way, is taking Sadawara back, which I think he will very easily be able to do, because let's face it, it's him. You know, he is indeed him, as I said in the previous episode about myself. No, it's not. It didn't really work out that way. Well, kind of, to a degree. Anyway, as you saw, much less casualties on the enemy side that were able to survive, and we are now going to be inflicting much more damage when we go into the next siege at Hitayoshi. Okay, so one thing we now need to take into account is that the Shimazu, but thanks to the fact that we have just defeated and utterly destroyed, humiliated, obliterated, whatever you want to call it, every single one of their vassals, or at the very least a lot of them, they now have 98 exhaustion, which I have to admit does feel pretty good. However, it is also kind of bad, because on that hand, we now have to deal with the fact that they're going to make peace with us relatively soon, and they've taken Sadawara. So I'm hopeful that JINZABURO will actually get on that kind of soonish. And we're going to be getting mounted patrols here just because I think that that is probably one of the best perks that we can get here. And I can now head into Hitayoshi. Unfortunately, I am not sure if we're going to have the time to do this. Did he actually take it? Yes, he did. Wow. He took it that fast. What a crazy individual he is. All right, so he was... Oh, he was actually the owner of Sadawara beforehand, and he let it get taken. Okay, well that is well. I'm gonna rectify that situation. I'm gonna give it to him again. There we go. Okay, so JINZABURO will be the leader of Sadawara, and indeed, as you can see, they are wanting to make peace. I couldn't even get my siege camp. I couldn't even get my siege camp built, which is very sad. But there you go. They are wanting to pay us. That's not 11 million, right? No. I always have weird problems reading numbers that are this long. I don't know why. Anyway, there it is. 1,175,500. Obviously, that is, thanks to those of you in the comments, that is split between us and our vassals. But it's still a good amount, you know? It's still a very decent amount, and we did take Sadawara back, which is all that I really cared about at the end of the day anyway, so I think that's kind of nice. And now the question, well, the question remains, what do we go for? Do we want to fight the Otomo? Maybe that's the way to go. What do you think? What do you think? I don't know, to be honest. Kind of in a bit of two minds about it. Not sure. I don't know. Maybe we should just take a quick look. Let's have a look at what they have in Kumamoto, because obviously what we can do is we could technically purchase every single little bit of food that they have in the garrison at Kumamoto and then immediately take it. We could be extremely devious about that. You know, it is a possibility. I mean, I don't think they have that much food here, do they? Yeah, they don't have that much food here, so technically it is possible, right? Technically it is possible for us to do that. I'm just going to sell not all of this, apparently. I'm going to just reset that real fast, and then we'll just get rid of what we can. There we go. I need to actually get rid of horse saddles here, because I'm carrying way too much of these. I just got rid of a horse that I did not want to. I don't know where it went. Okay, I'm going to have to reset that again. That's wonderful, isn't it? I love it when that happens. Okay, so let's do that again. Okay, so here we go. Make sure that we don't get rid of the Sumpter horses, because I basically just completely destroyed myself there. All right, perfect. So now we can Oh, wait a minute. We got some horse armor right there. But yeah, we can actually do some pretty cool things here now. So we could get some sumpter horses, which may very well be an idea. Let's get a couple of them. We're not having any kind of herd problems, so I think it's worth it. And we can sell some of these now. There we go. Yes, perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into the marketplace here, and we're going to buy every single little bit of food, and then I'm actually thinking about going to Yanagawa and literally doing the same thing. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be a little bit devious here. Maybe it's not the best idea because it is taking us a bit of extra time to do that, but I think it might be worth it. If we can capture both of these castles in quick succession, it may very well, oh well, shall we say towns, then it may very well help us a great deal. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we are way over encumbered right now, obviously, because I literally just purchased about 4,000 rice or whatever it was, which is kind of insane. Yeah, as you can see, massive amounts. Just going to get rid of that. Yeah, we got a load of crude iron as well. Okay, there we go. Something like that. Good. All right. So now we are going to go back over here, and we're going to, first of all, attack this guy. There we go. Yes. Eliminate him. Thank you. All right. Take him prisoner. I mean, I don't really care about this guy that much, but I kind of wanted to get him out of the way just to make sure that he's not, you know, attacking our villagers or attacking anything, raiding or pillaging caravans, anything like that. You know, we always want to make sure that we are protecting our economic assets as much as we possibly can. And otherwise, I'm going to just very quickly check to see and make sure that they haven't gotten their food back, because I'm pretty sure they have. Yeah, they've gotten a little bit of food back, which is really not that big a deal. And now let's just wait here for a little bit. There we go. The fellow has left. This is what I was waiting for. And we're going to be attacking. Actually, someone said we should declare war on the diplomacy screen. Technically, we can do that. Sometimes I don't really like doing that much because kingdom leaders are friends. Oh yeah, he likes me a great deal. Oh yeah, because we married his... Didn't we marry his daughter or something like that? I think we married his daughter just now, didn't we? Okay, well that is a little bit problematic then, isn't it? Because I was planning on attacking this guy. Do I want to do it? Should I just do it anyway and damn the consequences? What about a proposal? Is he willing to... No, he's not going to be willing to do anything there. Okay, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. We've only reduced his relation by 10. Oh no, actually by 20? Oh no, that's with the faction. Yeah, no, we've only reduced his relation by 10. That is so funny. Okay, so we're just going to go in for an auto-resolve with this guy. And we will just take what we can. Get some of these. There we go. Just a couple. You never know. Take all of that. There we are. Okay, so now we can literally go into Kumamoto immediately. And hopefully they will not have that much food left. Yeah, as you can see, they only have 4 days worth of food remaining, which is obviously wonderful. Alright, so we've just converted a couple of extra prisoners, and we're now going to be heading into the now depleted garrison at Kumamoto. And this is going to be pretty good. I think this is going to be pretty decent. Not sure if we're going to have that much of an easy time, but we can just hope, okay? We can just hope. Cross our fingers and hope that we're not going to have too many issues. I mean, obviously, we have had quite a few somewhat difficult situations. Now, I am on a very nice horse now, by the way. This horse is actually proving itself to be extremely fast and super, super fun to ride. And kind of wish we would be able to do more field battles and stuff like that. You know what? I'm actually not going to go over there just now. Okay, now we can go over there. Because I just want to make sure that we have some people in the way. Just so that if I do get shot... thank you so much for shooting me in the face. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's really nice of you. Yeah. Can you tell that I'm super pleased about them shooting me in the face there? Yeah, great. Oh well. Never mind. Okay, we got a bit of a weird, funny situation going on here. We've got a bunch of ranged troops that want to consistently reinforce this point. And actually, this is great for us, because the more time that we can have these guys run over here, the more we can eliminate. It's fantastic. Now, I just have to be very careful here. I do not want to get killed just yet. That's why I've been kind of concentrating, you know. Whenever I go quiet, that means, you know, I'm taking it seriously. You know what I mean? Taking it very, very seriously, making sure that we're not going to die as easily as we normally do. And otherwise, I think we'll still be all right here. It just very much depends on if we can prevent these little glancing blows from happening. You know, these little bit of damage here and there really obviously adds up over time. believe that is indeed a victory for us right there. Very, very nice. And I was able to eliminate 175. It feels to me like that is pretty much about my average now. If I can survive for the majority of the time, which obviously is very much dependent on a little bit of luck, because there are many cases where I'm going to be like, oh yes, well, I just got shot in the face for 200 damage and, you know, things like that. It is possible for that to happen. So, you know, if that doesn't happen, then I do have the possibility of getting around, I don't know, 150 to 200 kills. Obviously, I don't think I've ever gotten 200. I don't think, right? I don't think I've ever gotten 200, but still, it doesn't really matter because, I mean, we're absolutely destroying the garrison. And you can see here, look at how many we killed in comparison to how many we killed before. We killed so many more this time without Doctor's Oath. Look at that. 260 versus 36 wounded. Absolutely insane. And that just goes to show that if you're wanting to do any kind of war of attrition style strategy, do spec out of Doctor's Oath. It is way too strong in regards to taking prisoners and stuff like that for you to keep it. Anyway, 47 renown for us right there. I'm kind of hoping to get, you know, some larger scale battles here. We really need to get into some big battles so that I can finally start getting huge amounts of renown so that my renown and indeed my clan can start to level up, because it's, you know, unfortunately it does take a long time for us to get there. Anyway, I have 500 influence, so I'm thinking that what we're going to do, you know what? No, I can't do that. I can't do that. We're going to have to... Yeah, no. We're going to have to decline on this, because what I was actually thinking of doing is creating another companion and then creating them into a vassal straight away, because as you can see, we have 542 influence. I only need 500 to be able to do it, right? So I was thinking maybe... I don't know. I mean, we've got how many clans? 6. We have 6 clans right now. Unfortunately, the main reason why I was like, oh yeah, we should probably, you know, make another vassal. But then I thought, yeah, actually, many of our people don't even have additional fiefs. So, yeah, I actually think that they probably need them, right? I think they probably need them. So we're going to just let them get a little bit of extra land, a little bit of extra fiefs and things like that under their belts before we start expanding our vassal count a little bit more. So Kumamoto's vote is going to be coming in just a moment. Mangoro was just taken prisoner. Well, that's not very good. Not sure where he died. Here comes the vote. JINZABURO... No, sir. I'm sorry, I can't give this to you as well. I have to give Mangoro this. Okay, yes. I mean, the funny thing is, I would probably give it to JINZABURO, you know, because he is the one that is doing most of the work. But I can't, you know, all things considered, it is not possible for me to just give all of my fiefs that we've captured to the same vassal over and over again. I could do that, and I have done that in the past, and it has been quite effective, surprisingly. But in this case, not sure if that's a good idea. Anyway, we're just going to increase my writing skill, finally max that out, and then we're going to move on to Yanagawa, which is actually not even that bad. I think this is probably going to be relatively similar to the previous one, hopefully. And let's just see how much food they have here. 11 days. Unfortunately, they did seem to get resupplied in the time it took me to take the other one. Alright, so we have a situation. Oh yeah, they are deciding to attack us here as we are besieging Yanagawa, and to be fair, that is actually a very good move from them. Oh dear. Well, this is actually pretty bad for them. They're not going to have a good time here, I think, because this battlefield is fundamentally fantastic for us. I mean, literally, look at it. Look at how crazy cool this is. Okay, so they're going to have some issues with it. Completely flat. Obviously, it's great for us if we would have some kind of, you know, hill or mountainous area or whatever. But in general, this is going to be incredibly good. Once again, I'll try to remember, let's just say that, I'll try to remember to make this brighter. Because, well, let's face it, it's going to be pretty dark. And let me see if I can maybe do something. Nice. Okay, I'm going to see if I can maybe distract them a little bit. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Okay, I'm trying my best to be super aggressive here in regards to attacking the enemy archers, because, well, I mean, you saw how much damage they did to me right there. I need to be very careful of that. Thankfully, my forces are doing a very good job right now. As you can see, we've already eliminated 225 of the opponent, and I think the majority of those have actually been cavalry, which is really good for us. Ooh, got eliminated with the ranged characters right there. Okay, unfortunate for me. Now let's actually just take a quick look and see what is actually going to happen here. We may have a bit of a problem on our hands, or maybe not, because we are receiving some reinforcements. I mean, technically... Oh dear. Oh dear. That's a defeat. That's a defeat on our hands there. Ooh, that is bad. That is some bad news right here. Okay, well, there's not much I could have done about that, unfortunately. Technically, I could have retreated. I could have left some people behind if I wanted to do that, but I kind of thought we'd be... I don't know, I thought we'd still be able to do it, but clearly we were outnumbered. That was just fundamentally very difficult for us. Thankfully, though, our exhaustion is still looking very good, so I don't think we're really going to have to worry too much about this, and I'm relatively confident we're going to be okay. Okay, so we're otherwise going to be taking Dauntless Steed here, because this does provide us with +5 armor to all equipped armor pieces of mounted troops in our formation, which is obviously going to be very nice. And otherwise, this is going to give me an opportunity to see how long it actually takes us to recuperate an entire army. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit of time for us to find all the troops, of course, but considering every single faction in this area is basically from the same culture, it is going to make things very, very easy for us to regain samurai-based Saikai units, which is obviously going to be extremely nice. Alright, so I've just been basically running between various towns, trying to recruit as many of these samurai units as I can get my hands on. Now, obviously, I haven't really gotten into any battles or anything like that because, I mean, let's face it, we're probably not going to be having that much success. Funnily enough, we do have Mangoro here, and we do have JINZABURO, and funnily, he's actually a bit weird, because he's been running around with this army. I'm kind of wondering what he's doing. You can see here, though, that we are still having a pretty insane exhaustion on the Otomo at the moment, which does now mean that we could potentially see a peace agreement sometime soon. You can see here that JINZABURO is actually attempting to take something, and there is a vassal army coming over. Now let's see what happens, because I'm personally not going to get involved in this, I don't think. I think I'm just going to let JINZABURO do his thing. Hopefully he will... Yep, he is actually murdering. And you can see here that our wife is actually giving birth at the moment. Hilariously enough, this is not very good, mostly because she is literally a prisoner in Yanagawa at the moment, which is very strange. And you can also see here that... apparently Bruce Fuku is his name, has crazy good traits. Yeah, look at this. It's got really, really good traits, surprisingly enough. Yeah, not sure how that happened, but yeah, anyway, JINZABURO is absolutely murdering that guy and completely 100% dominated him, which is great. And yeah, there you have it. We've now had a child, and... Okay, I was a bit worried there for a second. I actually thought the game was crashing. That would have been really bad. I don't think I've saved in the time that it has taken me now to sort of recuperate a little bit. But this is the thing. This is all part of the journey. I just have to remind people of that because for some reason people get really, really upset when I get defeated. I just have to remind you that it is all part of the journey. And don't worry, we are going to be back on our feet in no time. And in the meantime, JINZABURO is going to be taking over, and he's probably going to be doing a fantastic job, as he always does. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.